Hi, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of the SoCal Prep Report, coming to you from Cerritos College in Norwalk, the site of the state finals. It feels more like we're in Left Antler, Wyoming right now because it is 49 degrees. And Bob and Randy, I got to give you guys credit. You decided to go with the Blazers. I chickened out and put on something a little bit warmer to fit the
ski
evening.
Jacket on tonight.
You darn right I do. Are you kidding me, man? It's freezing out here.
It is cold.
Southern California, tough enough.
It's football weather, though. It's the middle of December.
It is football
I've only
weather.
hit 49 degrees probably twice in my life, all right? And that was good. I mean, I had enough. It's probably up in Big Bear a couple times. That's about it. It's about all I could take. I'm good, all right? Listen, we just got done seeing Sierra Canyon lose to Liberty, the Liberty Lions, 19-17 in a thrilling ball game. Guys, that was one of the best matchups of all the state games, and it was the last game of the night.
Boy, it really goes to show you, though, momentum is just such a funny thing because Sierra Canyon was just going right along. They looked like they had this game in hand, and then there was a key fumble there in the third quarter, Randy, and that just changed the whole landscape of this thing.
Yeah, Sierra Canyon, like you said, was in control, and there was a quarterback exchange and went down on the ground, and the Lions recovered it, but the key was they couldn't control Sturgis, the running back. Sturgis Cover, he had 3 touchdowns. He busted off a 72-yarder. The team that usually does the best on the ground wins. Both teams had moments of real greatness on the ground, but Sturgis Cover was the difference with 3 scores for the Lions.
Well, I like the way Liberty played defense.
Sure.
And then when they needed to, that last possession, they got 2 key first downs to put this one on ice, and big win for the Lions. They roar here in Cerritos.
And it was really a running game. Neither team threw the football effectively.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but it was a fun game, a well-executed game, and it was a great game to end the season.
What I came away most impressed with is the way Liberty didn't give up. They were down in this ball game.
Right.
Sierra Canyon looked like they were in control, and they just stayed with it, kept with it, and ended up getting the final score, and it was just a great ball game. And if you're looking at the state as a whole, this is the game you would want to end the season with.
Well, you had a missed extra point down here from Liberty and a missed field goal by Sierra Canyon, and you kind of felt like, who wants to take and grab this game and get the win? Liberty was the one at the end who went ahead and did that.
Yeah, but it goes back to that fumble in the third quarter
really
that
does.
really turned the game around because it looked like Sierra Canyon was on its way to a victory. When that fumble occurred, you just saw the sideline of Liberty erupt. They were able to turn it into a touchdown. Suddenly it was a very tight ball game. At that point, when the fumble occurred, Sierra Canyon had a 10-point lead, and it looked like the Trailblazers were going to win their 3rd state title.
Sure looked that way.
All right, let's take a look now at other games today and take a look at the scoreboard. And let's take a look, and we see here we have in Division I AA, Folsom defeated Cathedral Catholic. This was last night, by the way, 21-14. Folsom wins their 2nd consecutive state championship. And I got to tell you guys, their quarterback, Kaiden Bennett, I mean, not only did he throw the winning touchdown pass in overtime, this guy accounted for like 430 yards in the offense between passing and running, which is phenomenal in a state final.
Look, Folsom's the real deal. If not for De La Salle up north, of course, we'd be talking about Folsom as the power up in Northern California. But they've quietly come and played in the state championship games, and they've done very well in the several years that they've been involved here.
And they showed their class. That's a good Cathedral Catholic team. It was
is.
a tremendous football game. Folsom had to rally to send it into overtime and won it. And the quarterback, Bennett, was the hero. He did everything for them, and they are to be congratulated. It's not easy to win a state title and to get 2 in a row. That's a great accomplishment.
Bennett's headed to Boise State. Now look at these numbers on the season. Not only last night did he have 262 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, he also ran for 168 and another touchdown. So basically he had a hand in all 3 touchdowns. He finished the season with 4,225 yards passing, guys.
Wow.
62 touchdowns.
Is that good?
And, that's all right. Hey, he got numbers that make even Josh Booty wince a little bit here. He finished with career with 8,913 yards passing, 123 touchdowns. And that's passing. Now on the ground, he had 2,168 career yards and another 38 touchdowns. This guy was just shy of 200 touchdowns or thereabouts on the career. That's a lot.
Boise can't wait to get him up there in Idaho.
Yeah, Boise State's got him, man. He's a real athlete. He may not even play quarterback. He doesn't need to play anywhere on the field.
That's one of the great things about these state tournaments when you get deep into these amount of games. Some of the stat numbers are off the charts, and there's a case there with that quarterback. But you see with a lot of these players, over 2,000 yards or 3,000 yards rushing. When you play 15, 16 football games in a season nowadays, like these prep teams do, those numbers really escalate.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now let's go to another game today and take a look at the Division 2A. Lawndale defeating San Joaquin Memorial 20-12, and this game was just shrouded in controversy.
Interesting.
You hate to have controversy in any type of championship situation because there's always, like you say, controversy. It's well, you won, but, and you really hate to take it away from Lawndale. Played great today, but the safety they called, which wasn't a safety, gave Lawndale 2 points, and actually those 2 points alone really did change the complexion of the game because not only is San Joaquin Memorial, not only they could have got a touchdown and actually taken the lead, now they need a 2-point conversion just a tie. So it changes the complexion, but nothing was more evident than that play late in the game when they were going for the tie and score, and the quarterback fumbles the ball on the goal line but recovers the ball on the goal. He was in the end zone, and somehow they just gave it to Lawndale even though he recovered his own fumble. And it was on 1st and goal. It was on first ball. They just came out of a pass interference penalty on the goal line. That's an automatic first down, and they still went with what's said on the scoreboard, which was 4th down, and it should have been their ball. So, so many controversies, but Lawndale wins.
You had to feel bad for Trujillo, the quarterback. He made a great effort just trying to get in the end zone, and he coughed it up, and it was a controversial call. But I go back to, if you look at the stats of this game, after one quarter, Lawndale had 9 first downs. Their opponent had 0. They completely dominated the football game, but the penalties really hurt them. And Jordan Wilmore was spectacular in the game. He rushed for 208 yards. To me, I walk away from that game thinking, okay, Lawndale wins a state title, but USC is the big winner. Because Jordan Wilmore is good enough as a freshman. He's going to play next year.
Wilmore had about 230 yards tonight.
Yeah, he had officially 208. But had they not had those penalties, he would have gone over 300. A lot of holding penalties. This guy is a big-time running back for Southern California.
Yeah, he was big tonight. I mean, there's no question. Lawndale's going to miss him. But, again, take nothing away from Lawndale. Had a great season. They win the state championship. It's just the controversies that everybody's going to be talking about. That's all we heard up in the press box tonight. All night they're talking about what went on in the Lawndale Memorial game, and kind of feel bad for the guys up in San Joaquin Memorial. They're going to be a long ride home.
And they're another team that stayed in it. They were getting beat throughout the game. They were controlled throughout the game, but they never went away. You see these teams when they get here, why they're here, because they hang tough. Even when there's adversity, they'll battle through it and make a game of it, and that's what Memorial did.
And they're not necessarily teams that have seen a lot of adversity, right? A lot of teams have won games pretty easily throughout the year, but you see really, I think it's a testament to the head coaches of these teams as well. They've prepared their kids that even if they get into a tough situation, these kids know how to handle it.
And let's give Lawndale credit. Memorial was averaging close to 50 a game, and they held them to a dozen. That's a great job defensively by Lawndale.
Well, I think that was a theme throughout these playoffs this year, throughout the championship series, is it was really a lot of blowouts. I know there was one in the semifinals with Folsom. They scored 80-something points. But other than that, these finals, everything was pretty much under control with most of the games. Most of them.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, continue on. Let's look at the scoreboard again. Let's look at a game from last night. Grace Brethren finally winning a state championship. They defeated Del Oro last night 21-14. Lontrell Driggs rushed for 191 yards and 3 touchdowns on 27 carries. And the defense allowed just 2 scores to a high-scoring Del Oro offense. Guys, we know that Del Oro is a perennial state contender. They're in the state playoffs every year. And interesting, Grace Brethren in their second attempt getting the state title. And again, fellas, I told you before, I think Grace Brethren's going to be moving up in the division ladder here pretty quick.
Well, it reminds me a lot of the Sierra Canyon program, right? As we've seen them grow over the years, I think that Grace Brethren is the next Sierra Canyon, if you want to put it that way. Just scratching the surface, and you're right. This is a program now that's going to just take off here, I think, in the next few years.
Well, when I think of Del Oro, I think another team that can run the football. And they could not run the football against Grace Brethren. They only had 50 yards. And then there's Josh Henderson, who's the coach, and his son, Josh Henderson, who's the hero every week. And he made another big play. They faked a field goal, which is going to be legendary in Simi Valley, a big fake field goal. Henderson threw it out of the formation, out of the punt formation, and it ended up being another touchdown, and it really prolonged the drive, and they scored, and Grace Brethren won the game. So give them credit for pulling a rabbit out of the hat with the trick play and getting the victory, and it's a great, great performance for Grace Brethren to go all the way and beat a team like Del Oro.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach Josh Henderson brought this team. They used to be an 8-man football team, by the way.
Yeah, right.
That's when they
It's
started.
a long way from there.
We all start somewhere, and they started 8-man football, and look at them now. I mean, there's serious business over there. They don't throw the ball at all. They power run.
Right.
They run that ball and run that ball. Old school Lombardi, and it's working for them. And congratulations to them. Watch this. That's how cold it is, man.
Cold here
We're not used to
tonight.
this out here, man, all right?
The frozen tundra.
That's right. We
Where's
said
the studio?
it definitely feels like the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, man. I've done games there, too. It's a mess. All right, let's continue on. Look at some more scores. In the Division 3A, it was Wilcox over Kaiser, 41-27, Bob.
Yeah. I picked Wilcox in this one, if you remember.
You picked Kaiser, Bob. You were saying Kaiser since the playoffs open.
I can't remember.
Randy,
who
I told you,
picked.
he's a kiss of death.
But
He is.
Bob picked Wilcox, didn't he? I don't remember.
No, he picked Kaiser.
Kaiser had a nice season. It comes to an end here, but that Kaiser, we've talked about that Kaiser program, for several weeks now. This is a really good program. Every year they're right there. Every year they are a competitive
Yeah, they are.
football program. They got a chance to play for a state title this year. It didn't quite get there, but I wouldn't think it's too long to see them back in it.
Rich is having a good time.
Dude, it's
You're
cold
having
out
a
here.
great time.
This is not the studio,
All we need are
man.
snowballs. If we
All
had,
right.
if we had some
If
snow.
we wait long enough, we may have
Be
snowballs.
glad we're not at Rim of the World High School right now at the game, because I would really prank
Hello,
you guys
Big
a lot.
Bear.
All right, continuing on. Look at the scoreboard.
Love the big
Where's Carlos? Carlos, this is Carlos weather.
Division 3 AA. Menlo Atherton defeated Lincoln of San Diego,
Yeah,
Bob, 20-7.
I know.
San Diego didn't do too bad, but they lost 20-7 to Menlo
Marcus
Atherton.
Allen is in mourning tonight as his Lincoln team went down.
Yeah, Menlo of the Bay Area, by the way. So that's didn't go too well for them. Division 4A, McClellan 32, Garfield 6. Randy, tell us about that
This
game.
one hurts. At least Nick Delgadillo got a touchdown. He had
There
a
you
great
go.
year for Garfield, and he scored on a 1-yard run, and it was 6-6 early in the third quarter. And the city had some optimism, but then McClymon's just a good football team playing at home.
You think they have a good defensive unit this year?
Yeah, they 8 shutouts coming in. I mean, really, Garfield scored against a defense that is
Yeah.
fabulous. But I was not shocked. That was one of the games. I did not expect Garfield to win this. It's a tough trip.
Bob did. He
Bob
picked
did.
I
them.
didn't pick
Bob
Garfield.
picked
I-
Garfield.
No,
I was behind the Bulldogs
Kiss of death.
110%.
Hey, Lorenzo Hernandez, great job this year. You win a regional championship, major step for the Bulldog program.
Yeah, gotta give it
great
to
for
him,
the
Randy.
city section. I feel bad that they got beat in the second half up north, but really, the Bulldogs winning the Eastern League had a fabulous season.
But I think this is their reward in a way. I mean, I know it's a loss, right? You don't want to say, anything good out of a loss, but they've been playing up for so long now, right? Lorenzo Hernandez has challenged his kids to play up and play that tougher competition. Now you're getting a chance to play for state titles, so you see how this is all working now. So I think we'll see other city teams maybe implement that and put that into play here. You have to play up and challenge your kids to get to this level.
And the bottom line is they got to the Open Division Championship
Yes.
and lost to Narbonne. They were humbled by the Gaucho team that put 55 up against them and beat them 55-7. But to get to the Open Finals for a team like Garfield,
Huge.
in the city section is huge.
Yeah.
It is huge.
All right, fellas, let's take a look and continue on. Again, it's terrible that Garfield lost, man. How could you do that to us? But, hey, you know what? Great job getting to state, your first foray. All right, taking a look at Division 5A, San Diego 21. And we got Colfax 10, Bob. And San Diego got a victory.
They
finally.
should have started Drysdale instead of Colfax tonight, right?
Yeah, they did.
Isn't that
The
headline?
breaking ball wasn't working today for Sam.
guys.
I guess
You guys.
Well, we talked about San Diego, where I think Junipero Serra did go to school there. I think he graduated there back in 1538. That's how long San Diego High's been around. But big win here tonight for San Diego. San Diego didn't get many championships.
This is the only one
This
that
is
they
the
won in
one.
the
This is
state.
the one that they got.
Yeah.
So they had their
So
chance.
they'll take it?
They'll take this one.
I mean, come on, Bob.
They'll take it.
I mean, everybody has to. It's the first time for everybody, right?
This is it.
So San Diego got one. I'm
You know,
glad.
we haven't mentioned, the lights went out in the Liberty game in the first half.
Yeah, that's
The
Well,
right.
lights
yeah.
were
Yeah, we
dead.
lost the lights here.
We're gonna talk about that in a couple
Okay,
seconds here. Let's
okay.
continue on. Division 5 AA. It was Rio Linda 38 and San Gorgonio 35. Good ball game. San Gorgonio had to come a long way back because they were down big in this game, but they fell just shy of winning a state championship tonight, fellas. Bob, I know you were really high on San Gorgonio.
I picked San Gorgonio, I think.
No, you did.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Stop it.
You're telling me
He's
I picked
keeping
them.
track of all
I know.
that.
He's got it all
track
written
of
down.
everything,
Come on.
Bob.
Who did
Nothing
Mo
gets-
pick?
Forget Mo.
All right.
Whatever happened to
Mo.
Mo?
Oh,
Mo.
What happened to Mo?
Mo made a phone call. Remember? I think he
That's
was. I think he
right.
was in the
He
Hooscow,
got
brother.
fired.
All right, Division 6A. Lincoln of San Francisco defeated Orange Glen of San Diego 24-13. Close ball game. Again, a second Lincoln. The Lincoln team split 1-1. 1-1 loss.
Right.
All right, Division 6 AA, it was Hillmar 49, Strathmore of Lower Central California lost to Hillmar 49-0, brothers.
Wow, that's
right.
That's the biggest. We had a lot of close games in state this year. That's the only real blowout.
Yeah, that's the
that we
outline.
had, right.
That one didn't fit, so that was a blowout.
Yeah, we did.
What's happening in LA? I'm Arian Alexander. Winter officially begins this week, so it's time to bundle up in your cool Christmas sweaters and check out these events that are perfect to get you in the holiday spirit. Glide into the holidays and join us for ice skating in Pershing Square. The Pershing Square Holiday Ice Rink offers the quintessential winter activity in the heart of beautiful downtown Los Angeles. Surrounded by art, music, and the impressive city skyline, the outdoor ice rink lets you enjoy this magical winter wonderland, LA style. Bring your own skates or rent them there. For advanced tickets, visit holidayiceриnkdowntownla.com. If you're on the east side, well, there's a winter wonderland right in your backyard. Santa Anita Park hosts Winterfest, featuring your favorite holiday activities. There's a real ice rink, horse-drawn carriages, Santa's Village, arts and crafts, carolers, seasonal foods, and free Christmas movies. Winterfest has its gates open for you and your family every weekend for you to stroll on through and frolic in the snow. For more info, visit santaanita.com. This Saturday, bring your Yuletide spirit to this beloved LA holiday tradition, the holiday sing-along at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. A massive pipe organ, a choir, a jazz combo, and you lead a cheerful selection of seasonal favorites. Don't remember all the words? Don't worry, lyric sheets will be provided. Everyone in the audience, young and old, are encouraged to engage and sing their heart out. For tickets, visit laphil.com. Ice skating, Santa, and Christmas carols? It might not snow in Los Angeles, but it's definitely what's happening in LA. I'm Arian Alexander, and I'll see you next week.
All right, we're talking with Ryan Partridge. He is the head coach over at Liberty, the Liberty Lions, and they roared big tonight. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the big victory.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're talking a little bit off the air right now, and man, not only is it your first state title, but it's like, you know, this is the first year you guys have actually had success in the playoffs. In how long?
Yeah, I mean, in a 115-year history of the school, before I got there last year, we had won one playoff game.
Man, Bobby, they beat your record, man, as a coach. Are you kidding me? That bad, huh? They still kept playing?
Yeah, we kept going, and just super proud of the boys.
Man, that is a lesson in stick-to-itiveness right there. Let's talk about your team, Coach. Coming into the season, what kind of team did you think you have? Did you think they were state-caliber contenders?
Yeah, so in Northern California, it works a little different. We got placed in the D1 right in the NCS playoffs, and we went and wanted the D1 title for NCS, but didn't get a chance to bid at state.
Mm-hmm.
And so we set our goals in the offseason that we wanted to go get a state title.
Talk about your kids, man. It seems like these kids were resilient. They didn't let getting down early thwart their efforts, and they came out on top. Big plays at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, every week we just keep getting surprised over and over again. They always step up to the challenge. I mean, the defense gets backed up or needs a big stop, they get it. We need a big play, we get it. Resilient is a perfect word for them.
So how's the student body taking all this? Usually they say as goes football season, as goes the school year, so I got to assume that still holds.
No, absolutely. I mean, like I said earlier, corn country travels well. We're from the cornfields in Brentwood, and the student body's going to be fired up, the whole entire community. I mean, the alumni are so thick and so proud of us, and, it's 100 years of the school, and they've never had stuff like this. So we're very excited and hoping for a parade when we get home.
Coach, you guys traveled well tonight, and this is a 12,500 seater, and you guys, the home side was pretty well filled tonight.
Yeah, they're committed.
Yeah.
Like the team.
I mean, coming from this place like that, how big's your student body?
We have 2,500.
20. That's a pretty good sized school.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so the bus ride down, how was it? Business as usual? Were guys
I mean,
loose?
No, yeah, they're loose. They've been loose all week, and they've been great. They're awesome kids and well behaved, so we haven't had any problems or anything.
You guys ready to take on Mater Dei next year?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I like that, Coach. Coach, congratulations. It's going to be a great ride home for you guys. You guys got to enjoy it. Maybe we'll see you back next year.
Thank you so much.
All right, Ryan Partridge, head coach at Liberty, state champion.
Exploring LA County's trails is now a click away. A mobile-friendly trail locator lets you discover all our county's scenic hikes. It features an interactive map that takes you inside the trail. From the elevation to the temperature, what you need to know is at your fingertips. Wondering if your dog, horse, or bike is welcome? It has that too. So discover some of LA's best-kept secrets and happy trails to you.
Hey guys, this Ryan Partridge guy, real deal, man. I mean, he's taking that team from you heard him say it's been 115 years. They're playing football and 114 of futility. This is the first day they broke out, guys.
34 years young, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, young coach.
That coach got a lot of years ahead of him here.
Oh,
And
my.
a bright future. What you love about that is the story. A program down and out for so many years. You know, there's so many schools in California. That just shows you anybody can do it. You get a good coach in there and he turns the program
There you
around.
go.
All right, well, that he has done. All right, let's take a look at the final. I say the final because this is pretty much the final week of football, man.
This is
And
it.
wait till you see what we got. This is the national final rankings. And as you see at top, no surprise. Mater Dei sitting on top, followed by St. John Bosco. Clearly the best two programs right now in the country, bar none. IMG Academy, we let them in, guys, just because, I don't want them to feel left out, but this will be the last year they'll be in the rankings, all right?
Right, they're done.
St. Louis of Hawaii had an undefeated season. Their signature win was beating Narbonne. Listen, they take on all comers usually. Nobody touched them at all this year. They had like 15 shutouts out of 12 games, so that's how good they are, So they just took it to them. Duncanville, number 5.
Wait a minute, what happened to Allen?
All right, you know what? I got to tell you, I got to take your boy to task now. The USA Today rag, at least for their sports section, had Allen, Texas as the champ. And we've said all season long, Allen, Texas cannot even be in the top 10 simply because they have no resume. They didn't even leave the state. You didn't leave the state. You're not even the best in your state. You know why? Because Duncanville beat you today. 44-35 was the final. So how is it that USA Today can ignore Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, IMG Academy, and put Allen, Texas in first place, fellas?
Sounds like some anti-California bias going
Dude,
on
they
there.
hate
I
USA
don't know.
Today hates California.
Yeah.
No
Well,
doubt about it. That's
well,
my opinion, by
Gonna
the
have
way.
to recognize them now because their number one team just went down.
And especially when you look at Mater Dei's wins. You
Oh.
talk about quality wins. What is it, 4 victories over teams in the
Five.
top 10?
They beat 2, 3, 6, and 7.
That's 4.
yeah.
4
Well,
2, 3, 6, and 7.
They knocked
in
out a
these
few
rankings.
others that were in there. They're not in there in the final ranking.
Yeah, but I'm saying the 4 that are in there right now.
Because if you went through top 20 teams, Jay Sarah
Jay
would be in
Sarah
there
was
too,
the
and
top
they beat-
10
and
when they played
They
him.
beat
They
Jay
did.
Sarah.
when they played him. So that was the
Absolutely.
5th one. But either way, I don't understand how they had Allen, Texas, and we told you all along, don't listen to those guys. It's all bias over there. One guy figuring it out. We got a team of scientists figuring this stuff out, and we're right?
We are right.
Absolutely
These
we
are the
are.
rankings, right?
All right, so Duncanville finishes, as you see there, at number 5, followed by De La Salle. De La Salle does not need to move. They played very well against Mater Dei. Matter of fact, they were a touchdown apart going into the 4th quarter before Mater Dei pulled away. They only lost by 14. You got to hand it to De La Salle. Corona Centennial finishing 7th. The only reason they finished behind De La Salle is because when they played Mater Dei, they lost by a
Right,
little
they
bit
were
more,
bigger,
just
yeah.
a little bit more. Chandler, Arizona lost no games all season long. They're in the 8th position, followed by St. Francis Academy. They lost a couple of games this year, fellas, because those hurricanes. Remember that?
Yeah,
The
that's
devastating.
right. They didn't play very many games this year at all.
They
right, 'cause of
finished
that.
9, but they did their homeboys well over there, the hometown. And St. John's from District of Columbia, that's the nation's capital, finished in the 10th position. So go ahead, let's get all the hate mail. But this is really clearly the best list because we looked up everybody, looked up the rankings, we checked everybody out, made sure they were tried, true, and tested. And clearly, Mater Dei playing that many top 10 teams, fellas, you got to give it to them.
No doubt.
You have to.
No doubt. No doubt.
End of story.
Clear cut.
End of story.
I made the argument a week ago that I think St. John Bosco may still be a better team overall.
Right.
Doesn't matter, because on the field at the end when it counted in the Division I championship game, Mater Dei got them.
It also tells you how spoiled we are, how many great teams there are in Southern California in this section. Obviously, I talk about the city all the time, and I can go off on Narbonne, but if you take a look at the southern section and the powers that be, and out of the Trinity League, they go 1-2 in the nation from the same league.
Yeah.
That's quality stuff.
Well, we saw Commissioner Wygott over here. He had a big smile on his face, and I know why.
Yeah, no question about it. Now let's go on to CIF news and some other stuff. Now, every year at this time, coaches resign, they move on, they're asked to move on. Some are just shown the door, and they should be, all right? But so equally so should some of the administrators that make these decisions, all right? Just trying to be fair to everybody, all right?
There's some
We're
stories
not
out there
naming
right
names,
now
we're
about
just
that,
being
too.
general, and the country's big, all right? Okay, so anyways, Raul Lara, head coach formerly of Long Beach Poly, the most successful coach in Long Beach Poly history, was at Warren for about 4 or 5 years, turned that team from a 1-9 team to playoff contender instantly. A lot of successful years. He resigned this week, fellas.
I think that's interesting, and we don't know everything behind the decision at all. And I hope Coach Lara wants to keep coaching because he's such a good football coach. He did such a great job at Poly. You'd like to see him back on the sideline somewhere eventually.
All right, what do you think, Randy?
Yeah, I think he has to come back. It's not like he's an old guy.
No, he's young.
He
Oh,
did
he's
a
a young guy,
fabulous
yeah.
job at Poly. I dealt with him on a number of occasions. Good guy to work with,
Yeah.
very friendly to the media. And his teams win, and that's all you can ask. So I'm sure he's going to get back into the coaching fraternity, and whoever gets him is going to have a winning program.
Well, his final remarks were, I'm just going on to the next step. So the next step might be another program he may have his eyes on.
Sure.
I'm sure it's not going to be Long Beach Poly. He's not going to go back there. But speaking of Long Beach Poly, they just let out their schedule for this upcoming season. And take a look at this. Let's take a look at the graphic real quick. And in the preseason, they've brought in, they're going to play Narbonne, LaSalle, Serra, and they're going to wrap up the pre-league with Corona Centennial. All right? Unbelievable. We don't even know where Long Beach Poly is going to end up as far as what division. They may not even be Division I next year, fellas. There's talk they might possibly be a Division II team next year, which just baffles me.
Wouldn't that be interesting to
Blows
see
my
Long
mind.
Beach Poly go down to D2?
Yeah, with the athletes that they've
you
had
imagine?
over the years, you can't imagine that. And I'm not shocked by that schedule. They've been playing Narbonne every year now for a long time, but to add on some of those other schools. But most of them are doing it now. We're seeing all these super schedules, and it's great for the fan.
Yep.
The high school football fan in Southern California has all the powers colliding almost on a weekly basis out of non-conference. You can come up with 2 or 3 great games every week.
Well, you have to do it now. We've been
Right.
talking about it for years on the
Right.
on the shows we've been on. You have to play a tough schedule now if you want to be considered one of the top teams. You want to get to these state championship football games. You want to be a champion. You got to play, everybody you can out there. So
Well-
congratulations to Poly for saying, hey, we're going to put it out there and then do it.
That's the problem with Allen, Texas. When we talk about the national picture. No, it
There you
is.
go.
That's the problem with
Perfect
Allen,
example.
Texas.
Perfect
They
example.
did not play out of the state of Texas. Texas is not what Texas used to be or what they purported themselves to be. All right? It's not like that. So if you can't play out of your state or play somebody at least in the top 100, you're not a top 10 team. You have to be tried and tested. I think the highest rated team Allen, Texas played was like in maybe the top 200.
Yeah, you can't.
See, Mater Dei
can't do that.
played four or five teams that were in the top 10.
And beat 'em
I'd
all.
like to see St.
And beat
Louis
all
come
but one.
off the island of Hawaii, too, because they stay there and they pile up victories.
Right.
Everybody's always got to go over there, and obviously everybody wants to go to
Sure,
Hawaii.
yeah,
who
But
doesn't
I'd like
wanna
to
go
see,
there? It's
I'd
an
like
easy
to see
sell.
how good
Yeah.
St. Louis really is.
Let's have
They've
St.
been
Louis
to the
come over
main.
and
No,
play
they,
Bosco.
they've
Yeah.
been to the mainland before, and they did quite well. It's just like you said, Randy. Who wants to come to LA when you can go to Hawaii? I mean, who wants to go to the Midwest or something when you can go to Hawaii? You really can't compare anywhere to Hawaii. So anyway, that's about it. Well, listen, fellas. I know that you guys want to stay out here for a little bit longer. I know you guys are warm, but it's time to
yeah.
go.
Nice and toasty
man.
down here now.
My limit. I've reached it now. You know
Thank
what I'm
God
saying?
Larry put the lights on. That keeps us a little
These are
warm.
LEDs. These give off absolutely no heat,
Zero
Randy. My
heat.
breath, my temperature's
is
been
the old
dropping
days.
since we got on. I'd like to say thanks, everybody. This isn't the end of the year. We're in the middle of the year. Our season starts in September and runs through June. So actually it goes year-round. But anyways, on behalf of Rose and Bloom and Bob Gibson, not Randy Routier, and of course our other buddy Mo Orr, who is away again today. So long from your friends here and from the SoCal Prep Report, and so long from Norwalk, California, where it's 48 degrees.
And dropping.
What's wrong with Wiggly?
Good night.
Oh.